And here we are. Happy Monday, everybody. 7th day of May, 2018. It's time to hit Control Alt Delete and start a whole new week with us here on the NCW Life channel. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. As the little lower third graphic informs you, Steve Hare, our news director to my immediate left. Looking good?
Looking great this morning, Guy.
Feeling good?
Yeah, no worse for wear after a stellar weekend.
It was a great weekend. It was a really good weekend. I had a lot of fun. Apple Blossom, the big weekend, of course, was it's just now concluded. Now the whole town kind of goes,
Yeah.
We start cleaning up and
heaving a sigh of relief. But I'll tell you what, Darcy and Andy Codcamp,
the Director General this year.
You guys put on a heck of a great show this week.
It was a great show. It was a great parade. I hope you had a chance to watch it here on this very TV station. We'll have multiple replays of the Stimulus Growers Grand Parade over the course of the next week or 10 days or so. Also the Classy Chassis Parade, because we haven't seen you since Friday morning. The Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I did as many Apple Blossom things. Of the big events that are every year that you do, I did not do the carnival this year. But that's about the only thing I didn't do.
You did put on a few pounds, though.
Well, with my trips to the food fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
We call them news stories, but actually it was Dan overindulging on pierogies and gyros.
That's what you do. That's a part of the Apple Blossom Festival. Beer garden was a lot of fun. I went to watch the downtown bike races, the Criterium and the downtown street races on Saturday night. It was hopping. It was a lot of fun. Town had a good vibe to it. A lot of people out and about.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Here's a interesting story. The parade was over on Saturday, and the bunch of us who produced the parade went to my house, and we had a couple of cold ones to celebrate a job well done, because it's a long, hard day for us. Lots of hours and hours on it without any real breaks, and so it's just a good chance to release the endorphins and relax and that kind of stuff. Then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I had to run a couple of quick errands. This is Saturday, and I know traffic was going to be just crazy. So I did the app, the Apple Blossom app, and I worked my way down to Riverside Drive and then across. I had to head up to 9th Street to run some errands. And so I went by Riverside Drive, and I went by Columbia Valley Brewery, Wenatchee Valley Brewery, all these places that have outdoor verandas where people can sit. They were packed. All of them were packed. It was just a lot of fun. It was a good weekend.
I think all in all, I think the Chamber of Commerce and everybody involved would probably say that this is probably one of the better festival weekends we've had, both in terms of activities, behavior certainly, and weather.
Weather held up. Weather was perfect on Saturday.
Yeah.
We had nice high overcast. It was comfortable. Anyway, I had a good time.
Well, we'll have a full recap for you coming up on the news and sports. We've got big news there, too.
Wenatchee Wild are now the champions of the Doyle Cup. So they got the Fred Page Cup and now the Doyle Cup, and now they're going after the big one, the RBC Cup, which starts this weekend up in Chilliwack. They are the champions of the Pacific. We'll explain all of that when we get to sports. We do have some highlights from the Stimulus Growers Grand Parade. Everything else that you're used to, and patiently waiting by in the green room I cannot believe this is the first time Allison has done this program. Even though you and I have interviewed her 100 times in the past. Allison Williams, the Executive Services Director of the City of Wenatchee, will be my guest in the second half of the program.
In fact, she kind of leads off of different profiles we're going to be carrying this week, because National Public Service Recognition Week is this week. So NCW Life will do its part to pay tribute to those people who toil on our behalf, your tax dollars at work. So definitely looking forward to hearing from Allison today and some other folks during the week.
Busy show, busy week. Let's get going with the way we traditionally start this program, with our little tour around North Central Washington with our Sky-Fi high-speed wireless cameras, courtesy of Locatel Sky-Fi Network. These are high-definition cameras. We got about 35 of them all over North Central Washington, and always batting lead off, if you pardon the baseball analogy, is the cross camera itself.
Yeah, those clouds bearing a little fruit overnight.
Yeah, I understand it rained. I missed it. I was unconscious.
I had some pools of water on my driveway this morning waking up. So yeah, we got a little bit of moisture out of that little system.
We got a whole series of low pressure systems, one right after the other. It's going to kind of parade in and out. So the whole weather forecast is really a roller coaster this week. We'll get to those details in a little bit. However, the upcoming weekend, if the forecast holds true, I know it's looking ahead quite a bit. It's looking just perfect.
Yeah.
And we still have not hit 80 degrees.
Yeah.
As we get deeper and deeper, it's kind of odd.
What a change from last year. I think we had some 90-degree temperatures.
Yeah, oh yeah, we did. Absolutely we did. So that's our first camera, and Kat, our producer, says, let's go up
Oh.
to Jump Off Ridge.
Look at that.
Gorgeous view. So you can see the Wenatchee Valley in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. You can actually almost see where the cross camera is located on Wenatchee Heights. That's obviously the Stimmel Basin.
Three Lakes Golf
to your
Course.
lower right-hand corner.
Drenched in sunshine.
Yep, yeah, I see that view and I want to level the camera. You know, the camera's crooked. It's not really crooked. It's us. We're not quite on the level. Camera number 3, Kat says, let's go
Look
to
at
Apple
that.
Annie's.
I mean, that's picture perfect.
That is picture perfect.
That
isn't it?
is a picture perfect picture.
That is the Wenatchee River. You can see the what's the
Mount
what's the name of the
Stewart?
bridge that goes into Kashmir in the lower left-hand corner? I just forgot the name of it.
I forgot. Monitor Ridge? I don't know.
No, that's not the. It's the main one that goes into town. You can see. Anyway, there's,
Cottage?
okay, that works for me. So there's the lovely
There's
Kashmir.
applets and cotlets. I don't know.
There's Kashmir, beautiful downtown Kashmir. You can see the Kashmir Riverside Center and the big community park there along the river.
That's right.
The Wenatchee River flowing a little high and a little cold. Camera number, was it 4 now? Where are we? 1, 2, 3, this is 4. Camera 4 coming up. It's Monday. Billy Goat zoomed in. We did this one on Friday. We're all familiar with the Billy Goat camera. That's the Billy Goat camera zipped in a little bit. So that's the mighty Columbia. The Hamlet of Brewster is dominating your picture there, Steve.
There's Highway 97 there, winding its way around the north side of the river there.
The greater Brewster area. That's a good looking view. And it's not shaking, which means there's very little wind.
So that
out there.
is that the Bridgeport Bar?
The Bridgeport is kind of tucked around
That's
the corner.
around the corner, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's Brewster. There. Yeah.
Right. You see that big hill on the
Bridge
far
then
right-hand side.
takes you to Bridgeport. Yeah.
So yeah, Bridgeport you can't see. It's there. It hasn't gone anywhere. You just can't see it. So that is our tour around north central Washington at 7 minutes after the hour on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. We still have a low pressure system that's here, and it's going to bring us some clouds and some showers off and on throughout the course of the next couple of days. Then it leaves and we have a nice day, and then it leaves and we have a nice day. So we have one system coming in, and then another comes in, and then another comes in, and then we get really nice.
Ooh, I'm going
for the
camping
weekend.
this weekend.
Yeah. Whatever. Yes, you are, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Whatever rain we get, and there's only about a 20% chance of rain, excuse me, is going to be this morning. Gradually, as the day progresses, the clouds will be thinning out, and we'll have some sunshine this afternoon and a high near 79. Clear skies tonight, 55 for the overnight low. Clouds thicken up tomorrow. 83 would be our warmest day of the year if we get there. Now, Tuesday night, we're going to have quite a bit of rain. It looks like that's the most active of the weather systems is Tuesday night. No thunderstorms, Steve, just rain. Wednesday, cloudy, partly sunny, and then clouds, and then wind and a little bit of rain. So we have a little bit of everything. That's the system that's going to bring us the rain Tuesday night, exits Wednesday. That's when we start talking about rain. And then Thursday, partly sunny and 69. But look at the weekend.
Yeah.
That's a good looking weekend, which is important because you got Leavenworth has Mayfest, Manson has their Apple Blossom
right.
Festival, Touch a Truck is going on down at the Town Toyota Center. Lots of outdoor activities coming up this upcoming weekend, as if you didn't get enough the last weekend. And it looks like Mother Nature is going to give us 4 aces and a joker.
Boy, the wildflowers now in full bloom. I've been seeing a lot of pictures being posted on Facebook by a lot of friends out there. So get out and enjoy it. Boy, look at that view behind me. Isn't that something?
It is a beautiful area we
Scenic
call home.
area we live.
Yeah, don't take it for granted. Sometimes I forget kind of a beautiful area we call home. I got to remember that more often than not. It is 9 minutes after the hour on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Steve here and your recap of the weekend events and everything else that's making news on this Monday. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 15 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Localtel. Mayfest takes place May 11th to May 13th in downtown Leavenworth. This weekend will be filled with music, dancing, and springtime fun. Wenatchee Mops Run for Your Mother 1K and 5K is Saturday, May 12th at Pybus Market. Join Wenatchee Mothers of Preschoolers to support moms in the community. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
It's time to celebrate your mom. Head on over to Wenatchee Valley Mall where you'll find a great gift for any type of mom.
I have a glamour mom. She loves the frills.
My mom's down to earth. She loves to chill.
My mom likes to relax all day.
My mom could buck a bale of hay.
Pick up a gift certificate from your favorite mall retailer and let mom have a shopping day for herself. Check out the special events tab at WenatcheeValleyMall.com. Find it all at Wenatchee Valley Mall.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Wake up, Wenatchee Valley, and welcome to this Back to Work Monday. I'm Steve Hare. What a festival, a beautiful weekend. It was a banner weekend in Wenatchee, leading off with the Apple Blossom Festival's to Milk Growers Grand Parade. With wall-to-wall coverage right here on NCW Life News with Julie Kuntz and Eric Granstrom doing the honors of the play-by-play, if you will. And then thousands of spectators lined the downtown streets enjoying the final weekend of what turned out to be one of the most enjoyable festivals in memory. But then there was Sunday. The event-filled weekend culminated with the Wenatchee Wild's homecoming as hundreds of fans came out yesterday to welcome the team home after winning the British Columbia Hockey League's Doyle Cup. And now it's on to the RBC playoffs for the championship of all of Canada. And that's coming up this weekend. We'll have more on that coming up with Eric Granstrom. Dan Kuntz has his sports report, so we'll have the full recap of that final fifth game up in Alberta. Also, the City of Wenatchee presented last week the 2018 Washington Recreation and Park Association Park and Facilities Spotlight Award for the new Saddle Rock Gateway and Outdoor Education Area project. Now, the Gateway was selected from nominees from around the state as the project resulted in beneficial, positive impact on the community, successfully addressed a community and regional need, and demonstrated a creative use of resources, materials, and partnerships. Those are the main criteria for that prize. The award was presented during the Washington Recreation and Park Association's annual conference at SeaTac last week. The Washington Recreation and Park Association's mission is to promote excellence of current and future parks and recreation professionals through advocacy, education, networking, and training. Congratulations to the city for that, and Dave Erickson for your work in coordinating the development of that park. City of Wenatchee, right now, conducting a survey to find out how to make Wenatchee more walkable. City spokeswoman Brooklyn Holton says the survey will be used to help city officials develop a pedestrian master plan.
And so that is really just going to help us understand, where do people live or work? Where do they walk to? Where do they walk from? What are things that they think could help improve the walking environment in Wenatchee, whether it's so it's comfortable, more aesthetic, do they want more art, do they want it to be, are there areas that need to be more ADA accessible? So trying to kind of facilitate a way for that feedback to be provided to us. Just in that beginning of the planning process, as the steering committee looks at data, what's a way that we can include the community right now? And then later on this spring and summer, we'll be doing kind of a more comprehensive survey that will be kind of built off of the things that the steering committee has been talking about. So the detail, the priorities, the goals, the things that the steering committee has been vetting, we're going to put that information into a survey to make sure that the community is sharing that we're either on the right track or we need to kind of steer in a different direction to make sure that the plan that gets developed is one that the community supports and one that the community has had adequate input into.
Holton went on to say the study should be completed by this fall, at which time the findings would be presented to the City Council for review and public review. You'll find that survey at the Wenatchee City's website. Just click on the Complete Streets tab there. Also, the old saying, accidents happen in threes, proved accurate, with 3 separate crashes happening within a week at the same general area of Douglas County. This one vehicle accident happened yesterday, on Highway 97 near the McNeil Canyon intersection. In fact, in the distance, you can see the BB Bridge. The northbound driver and his passenger escaped unhurt after the pickup rolled over off the roadway. Now, the weekend got off to a rocky start Friday morning with an injury crash in the same general vicinity near the BB Bridge. The Rondo Fire, Chelan Fire Rescue, and the Lake Chelan Emergency Services responded. It appeared the southbound vehicle lost control overturned, coming to rest on his wheels after crossing the northbound lane. Driver was transported to Lake Chelan Community Hospital with serious injuries. His condition is unknown. Well, your tax dollars at work. This week we honor those who toil in public service. It's Public Service Recognition Week, and it's being observed nationally and in Chelan County with several events, according to Commissioner Kevin Overbay.
Tuesday, we'll kick off with coffee and donuts for our employees in the morning. I know that each one of the 3 commissioners here will be actually going out to the outlying areas with regards to our public works shops and providing that to those folks on our way in to work. And then
take an extra box of donuts to the sheriff's department.
Yeah, they're going to actually meet out there, so we'll have those guys taken care of, and then on Wednesday we're actually having an ice cream social over in the main building for our employees there, and that will be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we'll end the week on Thursday with a large barbecue that we'll be having for our folks, and then recognizing those folks that are maybe some award winners. We have an opportunity for peer-to-peer awards. We did have a wellness challenge over the month of April that we had multiple teams that participated in the wellness challenge. They'll be recognized there. So it'll just be a great opportunity for us just to come together. There's a lot of employees in the county that actually don't know each other or don't know what folks do. So it's an opportunity for us to educate the public with regards to the services the county provides. It's an opportunity for us to just recognize the great work of our folks.
And again, that's Kevin Overbay, Chelan County Commissioner, District 1. Stay tuned this week and all week as NCW Live's channel pays tribute to public employees. In fact, each day this week we plan to profile an individual employee, starting today with an interview with Wenatchee City Executive Services Director Allison Williams. So she'll be your guest in the second half hour today.
Provided she's still in the waiting room.
Unless she backed out on us.
Yeah, it's happened before. You know, we go back there to say, all right.
Just kidding, Allison.
We're kidding, Allison. Allison would never, ever do that. When you were doing the last little news thing, it just occurred to me this is a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, Apple Blossom was sunny and warm, borderline hot for those last 3 or 4 days of the festival. This is gorgeous weather. And a friend of mine who hadn't been to town for years and years came in to see his mother who was ailing. And he'd forgotten about the Apple Blossom Festival. And he drove by like on the Tuesday. He drove by Memorial Park on the Tuesday after the festival, and he looked at Memorial Park and goes, "What happened? That used to be a beautiful park with the big trees and the green, and it looks terrible." And I said, "Well, you just had tens of thousands of people just tromp through the park for the last 11 days. It's going to be a little beat up. It'll take a little while to recover."
Yeah, it's kind of like when they had the carnival down there at Riverfront Park, and the grass was always
ripped it all
worn
up.
out. But, in fact, my memories of the Apple Blossom Festival, my wife and I and our 3 sons moved up here on Grand Parade weekend back in 1992, and I can remember getting stuck in traffic downtown with our Ryder truck, you know. What have we gotten ourselves into here?
I wonder how long it takes the Wenatchee Parks and Rec to get Memorial Park rehabilitated. It's a city park, so that's their baby. I wonder how long it takes them to get it back into shape, because it gets beat up. You know.
Well, it's nice to get a little rain over the weekend, kind of wash the streets down a little bit.
So, kudos to everybody involved with the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, especially to those people who participated. Anybody who was out and about over the weekend will tell you it was a good time was had by all. Speaking of a good time, one of our favorite people, Grant Olson, who did yeoman's work on Parade Day Saturday, interviewing people on the street. He had a good time.
And he and Brent, Friday night at the Classy Chance,
they did a great job.
Yeah.
So Grant will be here in high-definition television to deliver the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock are your 3 chances Monday through Friday to watch the news on television. You can also watch it on demand beginning late in the afternoon by going to our website at ncwlife.com, and it's also a great way for you to get a hold of us. In fact, we have any number of platforms for you to contact the team here at the NCW Life channel and to do the honors. S. Mitchell Hare, News Director. Go ahead, Steve.
And we're getting a lot of response now to our various ways of communicating with us. If you have news to share, you can do it on our website. Just press the little tab at the top of the page there. It says Contact Us at ncwlife.com. You can also write to us on our email address. The general address is news@ncwlife.com. That's preferable because then it gets to all of our reporters here. Also, you can call us with breaking news at 888-NCWL. That's our hotline number, 888-6295. And as always, social media, the go-to, in your Facebook, right?
In your Facebook, that's what I call it.
Facebook and Twitter. Just get in touch with us that way and make us a good friend.
One more item to get to before we take a commercial break and get into sports. And by the way, we do have highlights, a game file of the Doyle Cup. Guess how warm it is outside?
I'd say about 60 something.
It's 72 degrees.
No kidding.
Outside of our studios.
Wow, tropical.
Yeah, tropical. Fairly thick clouds this morning, maybe a stray raindrop or two. Sunshine this afternoon, high of about 80. 20 minutes after the hour, going to take a quick break. When we come back, sports, plus birthdays, and today in history and everything else that you're so used to. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
And we are back in this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. The Wenatchee Wild are going to have to build a bigger trophy case. You can add the Doyle Cup now alongside the Fred Page Cup. 7-2 the final. 7-2, a dominating victory over Spruce Grove Friday in Game 5. It was a back-and-forth contest. In fact, it was tied at 2 at one point, and then boom, the Wenatchee Wild just put the pedal to the metal and ran away with it. They win the series 4-1. To the highlights we go. Brandon Ewinchishin with the call, the video, courtesy of Hockey TV.
Dorsley sidesteps around Kozowski, gives it to Hessler, picked up by Arnold, backhand, and he scores! Arnold with a backhand, rips it by Nolan Kent, and the Wenatchee Wild take a 1-0 lead. Gut for Byro, ends up on the stick of Soretsky, a little bit of space, Soretsky, backdoor for Gainey, and he scores! Logan Gainey, just like that! The Saints tie this up, 1-1! To the middle, picked off by Morton. Morton trying to get one in on goal, and he scores! Morton beats Kent 5-hole, and just like that, in the span of 45 seconds, 3 goals. Byro got a stick on that. Puck comes for Byro right in front of that. Byro in, over, they score! Logan Gainey, his second of the night, and the Saints tie this one up once again. So that's picked off by Modry. Up, picked off by Forrest. He fires that towards the net, and now Von Ungern has a breakaway. Von Ungern in on Kent. He shoots, he scores! In a fight with Usher, right on the face-off dot, Vanderbeck comes in to pick it up. Vanderbeck stepping around Forrest. Vanderbeck coming in on goal, shoots, and he scores! A.J. Vanderbeck adds to the Wenatchee Wild lead as they now lead 4-2. Come out as Hessler on the left wing side, a little bit of space. Here comes Hessler to the middle, backhand for Dorsey, and he scores! What a beautiful goal from the Wenatchee Wild as they now go up 5-2. Red Lions got Weatherby with him. Dishes it over to Weatherby, comes in on goal, shoots, scores! Jasper Weatherby makes it 6-2 for the Wenatchee Wild on the power play. Top of the circles, down low for Van Oshon. There goes Kent to the bench. And just as Kent goes, Zek picks it up. Zek, long saucer pass up, and he hits the empty net. And what a shot from Zek, to be honest, as he saucered that up and over everybody from his own hash marks, and it still didn't even hit the ice before it went into the net. Over to Sasaki, and Demon will play it around to Harris. Harris tries to grab it. Last junior shift here for all these 20-year-olds. As that will do it here in game number 5. The Wenatchee Wild will move on to the RBC Cup as the Spruce Grove Saints fans standing on their feet applauding to the Wenatchee Wild captain A.J. Vanderbeck. They take a quick picture. And here comes the moment. As Vanderbeck skates back to his team, holds that above his head as they all swarm him.
So there you go, the Doyle Cup added to the Fred Page Cup. Just one more cup to go, the RBC Cup, which begins this weekend in beautiful Chilliwack. Now, you probably noticed during the trophy presentation that Captain A.J. Vanderbeck had the jersey of Lucas Souter draped over his shoulders during the award presentation. Souter wasn't able to make the trip to Alberta. He was injured during an earlier game at home.
We have an injury, unfortunately. One of our best players all year, couldn't make the trip. But, we did it for him, and we wouldn't be where we are today without him, so hope for a quick return.
Again, anytime you walk in the locker room and you see the respect that Souter gets, that he's going to be a heck of a captain. But he just commands that kind of respect from the boys, and you're right that if they didn't care about him, they wouldn't have thrown their jersey out on the cup.
If you're going to take a 20-hour bus ride from Alberta, you might as well bring the Doyle Cup back with you, and they did. Upon their return home Sunday, the Wild fans gave the champions a huge welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wild Nation, we are pleased to present to you the Doyle Cup champions!
Oh, it's incredible. It's truly a hero's welcome. You couldn't ask for anything more. These fans all season have been incredible, and it's truly just been a gift to be a part of this. Honestly, I'm just so thankful for everything that you guys have done. You have made this the most incredible year of hockey I could have ever imagined, and I hope I get to do it again next year and relive it all, because you guys make this team and you make this sport incredible. Thank you so much.
You know what, we kind of expected a little bit after we came back from Prince George, didn't even win the series yet, and we had hundreds of fans out there waiting to welcome us home, get us ready for Game 5. It was incredible, and we were pulling into town, we saw the police escort, and right away we knew that we were going to have a bunch of incredible fans waiting for us to welcome us home.
I'll tell you what, this is something that these kids will remember forever, that the escort into town and you pull into the parking lot, and more fans here than a lot of places that we play, that it's awful special coaching here and awful special playing here.
Well, that was cool. I could watch that again. In fact, if you do want to watch that again, that video that you just saw is available on our website. Go to ncwlife.com or go to our Facebook page. That's cool. Way to go, Wild. All right, Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard for the weekend. Let's start out with baseball. Wenatchee secured the number 2 spot in the Big Nine. They swept Eastmont on Friday at Historic Recreation Park 3-2 and 13-0. So the Panthers have a bye into the district semifinals on Friday. The district championship will be held in Moses Lake this year because the Chiefs won the regular season championship. The Wildcats have a play-in game tomorrow against Eisenhower at 5 o'clock. Also on Friday, Kashmir knocked off Okanagan 5-4. It took them 8 innings to do it, and Chelan beat Cascade 8-2. At the District 5-6-2B tournament in Moses Lake, Waterville Mansfield was put out with losses to Tri-Cities Prep and Kittitas contest. Thorpe Brewster will face Tri-Cities Prep in the district title Saturday. They beat Liberty Christian and then DeSales. In softball on Friday, again, the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard. Eastmont pulled off a doubleheader sweep of the Panthers. They leapfrogged Wenatchee into second place in the Big Nine. They defeated the Panthers 7-6 and 12-11. The Wildcats have 3 games against Moses Lake this week. They could actually still win their regular season title from the Chiefs. Cascade ended the regular season with a sweep of Omak, as you see on your screen. Soccer, the Wenatchee Panthers were in a must-win situation Friday night at Leibofte Field at the Apple Bowl, and by golly, they won. They beat West Valley, shut them out 4-0. Wenatchee will play at Sunnyside tomorrow at 7. Eastmont will host Davis tomorrow night at 7 for the district championship. We'll have it live for you right here on the NCW Life channel. Our friends Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen will call the action. On Saturday in the Caribou Trail League CWB District Tournament, Cascade ended Manson's season with a 3-0 win, and Cashmere's season came to an end. They lost to Bridgeport in boys soccer 3-1. Here's a look at our broadcast schedule for the week. As we mentioned, the Columbia Basin Big Nine District Soccer Championship from Wildcat Stadium tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here live on this very television station. Game 4 of the Doyle Cup Series between Wenatchee and Spruce Grove will be Thursday night at 7. Hockey night continues. We'll have to see what happens with soccer and baseball because it's a fluid situation. Who wins, who loses, where they're going to play. We don't really know. We'll have something for you, I'm sure, prep-wise sometime Friday. We do know on Saturday we will have the first game of the first round of the playoffs for lacrosse. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder will take on Issaquah. Leibofte Field at the Apple Bowl Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and we will have that game right here on this very television station. Finally, Mariner baseball. Felix Hernandez, he got roughed up. 5 runs, 7 hits, in just over 5 innings. The Angels down the M's 8-2 at Safeco Field Sunday. Seattle's Ryan Healy provided the only offense. He had a 2-run home run. LA's rookie phenom Shoni Otani was stellar. He went 6 innings. He allowed that 2-run homer, but that was really about it. He's now 3-1 on the year. Seattle travels today, or another road trip. They're in Toronto beginning tomorrow with James Paxton taking the mound for the M's 32 minutes after the hour. This show's flying by. Don't forget Allison Williams, Executive Services Director for the City of Wenatchee, will be my guest here in just a few minutes. Let's do Today in History. 2 events to get to. 103 years ago today, a German submarine sank the RMS Lusitania. 1,198 people went down with the ship, including 128 Americans. Before this happened, there was a lot of American sentiment to get into World War I, but to fight on the side of the Germans. That ended because the Germans sank the Lusitania. A lot of issues going on here about the Lusitania. For one thing, there were 3 different manifests. There was the one that was on the ship, and there was the one in the company's offices, and they discovered a 3rd manifest of what was on the ship in Woodrow Wilson's safe in the White House. The Germans said, hey, we had every right to sink the Lusitania. She was carrying hundreds of tons of munitions. So she was a legitimate military target. That's what the Germans said. The British said, no, it was just people. It was just people, and this went on and on for years and years. The Germans said it was full of ammunitions, and the British said it was not. Well, in 1982, they discovered the Lusitania, and a bunch of salvage operations went down to see what they could find, and the British said, you know, it's really not a good idea because it's full of munitions. It's true. It was full of munitions. They were trying to pull one over. Anyway, the Lusitania went down in the state May 7th, 1915. And May 7th, 1992, the 27th Amendment to the United States Constitution went into effect. And basically, Congress can't give themselves a pay raise in the middle of a congressional term. This all goes to our friend Gregory Watson, who back in 1982, as a 19-year-old college sophomore, wrote in his college term paper that we could still pass the 27th Amendment. It didn't have an expiration date on it. His teacher said, you're an idiot. His professor, Sharon Wade, said, no, it's not true. She gave him a C. Gregory Watson was determined to get this thing going, so he launched a nationwide effort to complete the ratification of the 27th Amendment, and he did, and it worked. And on May 7th, 1992, 26 years ago today, Michigan ratified the amendment, and that has been the most recent amendment to the Constitution. It only took him 203 years to do it. Gregory Watson, an unknown American hero, just a 19-year-old college sophomore who came up with that idea. Wish I was that smart when I was 19. Birthdays on May 7th. All of these people are no longer with us, but they all deserve recognition. The great Gary Cooper, the legendary Gary Cooper, was born in this state in 1901, passed away at the age of 60 in 1961. Academy Award Best Actor twice over. Sergeant York in High Noon. Of course, he was in all kinds of great movies. He was considered one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, a real, genuine, beloved person. What you saw on screen with Gary Cooper was the real deal. There's nothing cosmetic about the legendary Gary Cooper, born in the state in 1901. Johnny Unitas, considered by many to still one of the greatest football players of all time. There's Johnny U, born in the state in 1933. Passed away of a heart attack at the age of 69 back in 2002. Three-time most valuable player in the National Football League for 52 years. He had the record for most consecutive games with a touchdown pass. It was broken by Drew Brees a couple of years ago. Widespread popularity, one of the most popular NFL players of all time. The great Johnny Unitas was born in the state in 1933. And I miss this guy, Tim Russert, for 16 years. He was the moderator and the host of Meet the Press. He was a great guy, a great journalist. Tim Russert was born in the state in 1950, passed away way too young at the age of 58 back in 2008. The great Tim Russert. All right, that is all the stuff you're used to at 36 minutes after the hour. We got Everyone is Entitled to Mike Manotti's Opinion, which reminds me another edition of Street Talk and Other Stuff comes your way at 10 o'clock this morning, live from this very studio. Mike's guest today will be Victor Estrada from the Washington Recovery Alliance. Victor Estrada will be Mike's guest live with Street Talk and Other Stuff at 10 o'clock. If you want Mike on tape, you only have to wait a couple of minutes. Yeah, because Everyone is Entitled to Mike Magnotti's Opinion is next. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Don't wait till your equipment breaks. This Lennox dealer can help.
Keep your home comfort system running smoothly with regular checkups from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,700 in rebates or special financing.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Blair with Works, your workout prescription. You know, the very best time to start an exercise habit, well, frankly, it was a long time ago, but the second best time is right now. And with the March basketball season on us, we're going to try to entice you with a Sweet 16 offer. $16 to join. It includes a 3D body scan so that you can monitor progress, and it includes your exercise prescription. The way that you start an exercise habit is by starting. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, many American Christians want a Christian president, one who honors God, prays, seeks divine wisdom, etc. Now, hey, I'm all that too, but we have to understand there are things about leading this country and adhering to the oath of office that don't exactly jive with what Jesus taught us. Seriously. When 9/11 happened, did you really want George W. Bush to go to Osama bin Laden and turn the other cheek? Now, being an American and swearing to defend the Constitution are not mutually compatible with Christianity. Sorry, they're just not. Now, interestingly, we had a president some years ago, a very devout man whose life exemplified his Christian values as much as any of us humans can. And I guess he even continued to teach Sunday school when he was in office. Now, despite this, many right-wing Christians really didn't like him. Yep, Jimmy Carter, go figure. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about. It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. Jeez. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan. That's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Better performance, better.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
And we are back on this Monday edition of Wake Up. I need to shave. Allison, I didn't shave for you.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
No. Oh, my beard's showing up. It was Apple Blossom weekend, and I could have shaved yesterday, Allison. I did nothing of substance. I just kind of decompressed from the way. I'm sorry, I should have shaved. Allison Williams, the Executive Services Director of the City of Wenatchee, is here. I have interviewed you on the radio, I don't know, 50 times maybe, something like that.
Yeah, many times over the years. I'm an old timer. That's what
are.
I tell people now.
Well, this is your first time on this television program. So for all first timers, Allison Williams 101, a little bit about you, your family, your background, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, so moved here in 1992, actually, to take the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. First of all, family, most important. I am married to Alan and have 2 boys. One of them brought his college buddies home this weekend, so, you know, a great way to enjoy Apple Blossom for the first time. So, moved here in 1992.
WDA, I remember. I had my store downtown.
Yes, 6.5 years with the Wenatchee Downtown Association. Really worked hard to get that organization going and functioning in the Main Street approach. Had some wonderful projects that resulted, and I think one of the highlights is the Columbia Street Warehouse District. And what's funny with community development projects, you don't see those take place till many years later. So now what you're seeing with Badger Mountain Brewing and all of those things happening along Columbia Street, those things got started, you know, back in the mid-90s. So 1998, I went to work for the City of Wenatchee. Was hired as community planner there. David Stahlheim had come in as community development director with the goal of turning the organization inside out. And so I have been with the city since 1998. In 2005, got promoted up to the mayor's office, and so have been working with the mayor and council since then. When I was with community development, we got involved in more economic development based projects, and so a number of those came up to the mayor's office with me. And now we've transitioned out where we have an economic development department. So my role is really working with the mayor to carry out the direction of the city council and help in overall management of the city.
So do the executive services director, that's your official title, did
Yes.
that exist before you, or was that created for Allison?
Well, there was a position, Rich Brinkman was there, his title was different, and so yes.
Like city administrator or something
well,
like that.
he was administrative services
That's
director.
Right. Yeah.
So this title was created for me. So, woohoo!
So basically, the day-to-day operations of City Hall, you're
right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the city council is the city council, but all of these people have outside jobs.
Right.
They do a great work. A lot of people don't know the kind of homework that a city council person has to do. It's a lot.
It's substantial. The
Yeah.
amount of work that we do. All of our council members belong to other various boards throughout the community. 30 boards, plus the work that they do for the city council. And with Frank as mayor, he has implemented council committees. That has been wonderfully successful. And so those council committees meet a couple of times a month. With the exception of public safety, they meet less frequent. In public works and economic development, we just have a ton of projects going on. And so that is one that we've got to keep them involved in. So yeah.
I bump into a lot of city employees, be it Parks and Rec or Public Works. I pop into City Hall every now and again. Law enforcement. Everybody seems to like their job. They seem to like working for the city.
You know, the city is a great place to work, and I think one of the things that is really key about the city, and I had it said last week, we had a meeting with the Trust for Public Lands. Obviously, they've been a great partner with us, and they said, your city is amazing. You have people here who take initiative. You don't treat it like any other government job. You have a mission, you have a focus, you want to see this community stay vibrant, and it shows with your employees.
And the city is growing from an employee standpoint because the budget is stable and good. So you now have an HR person, which you didn't have just a couple of years ago.
We have a fully staffed HR department. That is huge. One of the things I would recommend when you go through a downturn in your organization, HR probably isn't the place to start. These governments or other agencies, businesses, you go through periods of economic decline and incline, and your employees are your first resource. And so making sure that you're able to work through that process with them, provide them adequate training, provide them adequate management. That's something that we've gotten into in the last number of years. We've actually brought in Michael Nash, done some management training, understanding the expectations of managing your employees. HR is huge.
It's huge. And when they hired an HR person after that position went unfilled, my brother looked around City Hall and said, I have no office for you, so he moved out of his office. So the HR, right, which I thought was kind of interesting. It was kind of cool.
Well, and you know, that was really important because he made a statement that HR is very important to us. I want to make sure that that office is in a place where it's recognized for its importance. And it's also a transition because we went through a period of time where we didn't have that strong management, and we do now. And so testament to him for saying we're putting emphasis on this. So.
Any idea how many full-time employees the city has? Do you know that?
157.
She knows right off the top of her head. And you always hire seasonal people during the summertime too, right?
Always hire seasonal.
In fact, I know you got some openings going on right now.
Absolutely.
Parks and Rec and a few other places, right?
Right. And you know, the last couple of years we've had a real emphasis on bringing in interns. This has been wonderful. We have had interns in public works, engineering, parks and rec. This year we have community development, and this year we have our first public information intern. As you know, we brought in Anna Alvarez.
Who's working out really good.
She is
Yes.
awesome. First public information that is bilingual, bicultural. And we have our first intern there this summer, so we'll be working on some special projects. But those interns often turn out to be employees eventually, or they're a wonderful employee for somebody else. but it brings great richness to our city to have that youth and energy. So.
Perhaps the best indicator is that a lot of people who work for the city stay there for a long time. You don't have a great deal of turnover.
We don't have a great deal of turnover. So I'll be there 20 years in October. Wow. There are a number of us who are long-standing employees. You know, I would say though, we're at a point where, particularly in our Public Works Department, we have some workforce that is beginning to age out, and that means opportunity. And I would put a plug out there for these jobs. They're great jobs, good family wage jobs, and so I would encourage people to keep their eyes and ears open. I'm always recruiting. So, yeah.
Riverfront's going great guns. Pybus, I mean, what the Walkers did, and now turning it over to the nonprofit board. The Riverside Drive apartments, the Riverside 9 apartments, the Hilton going in. This was not the riverfront that I grew up with.
Right.
It was the dog pound and a dump, and that was about it. And you were in there from the get-go, all the way back to your WDA days, weren't you? And now look at it.
You know, it's interesting. When I came to work here for the Wenatchee Downtown Association, you know, I'm 26 years old, get interviewed by the newspaper, and one of the first questions was, how are you going to link downtown to the waterfront? And you know, it just put that idea in my head of, oh, wow, we should be. What an asset that is. But it wasn't really till I went to work for the city and we were doing visioning for our comp plan. And it's a great illustration about how good planning leads to great projects. And so in 1998, we had the downturn in our economy. Remember, everybody was ripping out the Red Delicious orchards. Yep. So we went through a process where we got a growth management grant and did what's called the High Performance Community Strategy, looked at what we should be doing with our community to keep it resilient and revitalized. And revitalize your waterfront was the key outcome of that. And to that, the Public Utility District, Chelan County PUD, saw that, approached us and said, you know what, we want to help fund a plan for the waterfront. We were also doing some visioning for our overall comprehensive plan at that time, had some public meetings, and clearly community desire. So that was a $150,000 project at that time. The PUD funded $120,000, and then we leveraged grants for the rest. And it really laid the vision for the waterfront. And we adopted that plan in 2004. And as with the way we work, we try implementing while we're planning. And so we started obtaining grants right away. That waterfront sub-area plan, I have a running list of investment. We're over $150 million in investment in our waterfront. And you know, currently we're writing this grant, big infra grant for transportation, and it's $150 million, and people go, oh my gosh, that amount is so huge. And I say, look at what we've done with the waterfront. If you do your plan and you are diligent and you're able to communicate the importance of your project, funding will materialize. And I really believe that's what we've done with our waterfront. It's showing, isn't it just so cool? I'm with you. I was listening to you talk about Apple Blossom this weekend, and we were doing all of the festivities, and this Wenatchee just shined. I mean, I think it was probably the best festival ever.
I had a good time.
The parade route was packed, and then the Criterion that happened afterwards, it was fabulous. And then even down at Pybus, we had lunch down there, and the Rugrat Nation basketball tournament for the little guys. There was just something for everybody. It was fabulous.
The Wenatchee Wild just won the Fred Page Cup. Then they turned around and won the Doyle Cup. Wenatchee Wild would not be here. This weekend's GS Long Hooves Rodeo would not be here. A thriving ice skating community would not be here. Rock and roll concerts, you name it, would not be here without the Town Toyota Center. It's 10 years old. It had its ups and downs.
Right.
But in April of 2012, or April of 2012, we decided to tax ourselves and save it.
Yes.
Huge thing. Talk about the Town Toyota Center.
So, yes.
Yeah. I think I just took everything out. I just took the thunder away. So.
You know what? That is what planning does. Planning looks long term. And when we did the high performance community strategy, we recognized that in order for this place to be a vital place, we've got to have activities to bring our families back. And nightlife was critical, and then rounding out our tourism season, because we have a very active tourism season that runs, you know, from March through October, and then you hit October and it's quiet. Well, the Town Toyota Center was the answer to that. We, at that time, had a failing ice arena on our waterfront. We had the waterfront plan. We knew we wanted to relocate it and add in residential and activity along the waterfront, but we needed that activity center. So yes, put together the Greater Wenatchee Regional Event Center Public Facilities District. It was an opportunity at that time. There was an expansion of that program going on, and put together the Town Toyota Center. Went through its bumpy times. The staff person went through a lot, but we are here and now we are reaping the benefits. There was always envisioned this connection to Canada and the Highway 97 corridor. And frankly, the stronger we can make that connection to Penticton and Kelowna, we are two like regions, and they have a high-tech cluster happening now. Just those connections along the Highway 97 corridor, and then what the Town Toyota Center has added to this community, nightlife, Wild fans. We are a hockey town. It's watching the replay of the welcoming back of the Wild players was really cool.
There's a lot of overlapping checkerboard government approach to this area. It's just it's the way it is. The Columbia River, they decided 100 years ago that the Columbia River is going to be a border. So we have overlapping services between PUDs. We got 2 of them, and City of Wenatchee and City of East Wenatchee in Douglas County and Chelan County. How do all the government entities get along? Okay, I mean, everybody like each other, and I mean, talk about your relationship with the other governmental agencies, the county commissions, and things like that.
You know, I think this is one of our, people always ask me about Wenatchee and what is our biggest asset and what is our biggest liability. And I always say our biggest asset is us and our biggest liability is us. and the reason is, our region has amazing people. We have, when there is a need, we find a way to go in and take care of it. The fact that we have all these governmental agencies, by the nature of being separated by the river, can at times make things difficult. You have each agency, they each have their area of responsibility, and once government builds up, it's kind of difficult to think about doing things differently. Government is inherently bureaucratic. And you know, we, from the outside area, people do not perceive us as all of these different entities. So to answer your questions, at times we are all heading in the same direction, and at times we have our different priorities. And I explained this, I had a conversation with you know, the port folks. Why would the city want different zoning out in the port area than we think? And it's as a city, we are responsible for the overall growth of an urban area. Our #1 priority, and our mayor has made this very clear over a number of years in a number of meetings, we need housing. We need housing badly. And so that is our priority. And so when we see areas within the incorporated area that are fully serviced, we want those put to the highest and best use. So you can see that at times we might be at odds, but in the end, our goal is for a vibrant region. We've got to keep the city healthy.
Allison, we got about 30 seconds. I want to get this in. It's 2018, Wenatchee 2028. Wenatchee 2028. What do you see?
So awesome opportunity. You know, when you talk about differing jurisdictions, we put together the infra grant, brought together all of these jurisdictions to complete the Apple Capital Loop. 2028, I see a vibrant urban area. I see, right now we already have 500 housing units coming just in our area. And we are going to have some fun, high-tech thing happening because I know we talk about Bitcoin, but blockchain is going to change us, and we are at the cutting edge of it. And it's going to be amazing to see what we do. Our Valley, Our Future has put together a plan. We've got a research and innovation district coming. So we're going to have researchers, we're going to have tech, we're going to have cool, funky housing, and this is going to be an awesome community nestled in this recreational mecca. So
Allison
we're doing
Williams,
it right.
Executive Services Director of the City of Wenatchee. Thank you
You're
for joining me. Finally got you on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great Monday. Don't forget Street
Thanks.
Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Mad Dog McNaughty live at 10 o'clock this morning. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.